Hi students and welcome to Foundations of Student Success. I'm your instructor, Danielle Reitz, and I wanted to create this welcome video so you have my voice and some kind of live presence behind the curtain to attach your concerns to and just to help guide you through the course in case this is your first time navigating Blackboard. So I'm not going to go through everything because that would take a long time and probably be a very dry and boring video. I'm just going to try and hit some of the high points so you can navigate and explore the course on your own. Feel free to go and click around. In fact, I really just encourage you to do that. There is an orientation I want you to go through, but even aside from that, you find things when clicking and you're not going to break anything. So just feel free to click around and look at things to familiarize yourself with our layout, because even if you have taken a Blackboard course before, a lot of times there are small differences between instructors. So to get used to our course early on is a good idea. Again, I'm not going to read the whole course to you, but this is our home page and you do want to look over this information and read through it. As you know, if you've taken a fully online class before, they are often read-write intensive. That is the nature of online classes right now. And so, you do want to click on these things and make sure that your computer works. I'm not really hugely tech savvy. I mean, I can definitely facilitate an online course, but if you are having trouble trying to make your computer compatible, your best idea is to contact the help desk. And so there are a few ways you can do that. One of them is from our Blackboard home screen. I'll take you there really quickly if I can here. And if I go into Blackboard, it's just going to show me as logged in. Okay, so if you go click on the Blackboard link from our homepage, it'll take you to a link where you can either get a phone number, it'll say Student Help Desk, or you can get an email, which is helpdesk@lssc.edu, and email your concerns to them, and they will get back to you. There is a format that they want you to have your email in, though, so you do want to go there and check it out and not just zip off an email with helpdesk@lssc.edu on it if you are having problems. Although I'm not tech savvy, I'm always willing to help, especially during my office hours. So if you are in Claremont, that's where I'm based. And so you can see here, I'm in building 2 and I'm in office 230, which is on the second floor. So if you're kind of by the elevators there and you go beyond there, that's where I am. You can also call me if you're in Leesburg or Sumter and you want to just call. That's fine as well. Email works. And Blackboard messages works as well. So those are some things that you can do. Like I said, my contact information is here in my office hours. If you send me an email or a question, I respond within 24 hours. That's my goal, Monday through Friday. I do kind of go dark on the weekends. I like to spend some time with my family and be outdoors away from the computer. So if you email me on Friday afternoon, you most likely will not get an answer until Monday. So that's what's going on. So one of the ways you can try to get rid of any issues you're having is to use Firefox. There have been times, and I tend to use Chrome as my browser, and so there have been times I've run into snags, something not playing in Blackboard that should play, or something just not working the right way, like I'm trying to click on something and it's not doing what I want it to do. So I've had to open my browser, my Firefox browser, or sometimes I've even gone to Internet Explorer, which I don't like, but Firefox is what Blackboard works best with. So my course here probably looks a little different than yours. Let me put my edit mode off to make it look a little bit more similar to yours. And so one of the first things you want to do after looking over our home site is to read the syllabus. And so I'm not going to read the whole thing for you. I would like you to read it and make sure you understand the information. If you don't, please contact me. I'm happy to explain it. The textbook for our classes here, you do want this as soon as possible because you do need, there is homework doing this almost immediately in our course. So if for some reason you cannot get this, please communicate that with me. If there's some financial aid issue or something like that that prevents you from getting our first assignment done, please be proactive and communicate that with me. Technology requirements, again, you want to go ahead and look over that. It's kind of annoying that these things that are popping up here. The student learning outcomes are what we hope you will be able to do when you leave this course and what you'll take with you to other courses. And one of the assignments is at the end of the course, I ask you to kind of look back and, tell me what you think you learned from the course. So you'll see that that's on there as that's our last week, that kind of assignment. And the course objectives are what you'll learn during the course. Academic integrity is important. I want you to read through that. And if you are registered with the Office for Students with Disabilities, there's a section on that. Privacy policy just says that I can't talk about your grades with anyone but you. So even if you're dual enrolled and your mom calls me, I can't talk about your grades with her unless you've signed a waiver to let me talk to her in the main office. And it also means that if you send me an inquiry about your grades over email, that I'll send you back something saying, I emailed you back in Blackboard messages, because this Blackboard messages right here is considered secure, but email is not considered secure, and it's a matter of public record. Also, I don't know if this causes anybody trouble. Sometimes I see my students in my face-to-face classes struggle with this. When you're trying to email and you get to the recipients field, you've got to click on that and then move it over to get it to go to the person you want it to go to. Okay. Let's see. So that's privacy policies. Violence, don't be violent. Attendance, we don't have attendance in our class because we're fully online, but you are expected to log in at minimum weekly, though it's a good idea to at least aim for twice a week. We'll have things due every Monday, and so you can look ahead and work ahead, but I'd say even if you log in, on a Sunday night to do your schoolwork, that you want to look back on there. And a lot of the discussion prompts each week also ask you to reply to a peer. So, if there's not one who's posted yet, you might post yours and then go back and read what other people have said. That's a good way to interact with the information. And in an online class where sometimes students can feel a little disengaged because they don't have kind of the social element as much as you do in a face-to-face class, responding to peers and reading what they say can really be a way to help you engage with the course and feel more present. The withdrawal deadline, this is gonna possibly change if I'm using this video. Sometimes I use the same video for 2 semesters. So if you're in my fall semester during 2016, you can look at this withdrawal deadline. If you're in my spring class, this has probably changed, hopefully. Instructor policies, you can read through that. That's kind of what I've talked about as far as work being due on Mondays. And I usually log in on Monday mornings and I try to, kind of give a weekly recap and announcement saying this is where we are, and also doing it, in a synchronous environment so you feel somewhat real time, like you're hearing from me that week. Late works or extensions, only our major assignments will be accepted late, not the discussion posts and not the quizzes. So you want to make sure to get those in on time. The quizzes disappear. They won't let you in. Actually, I think they still appear, but they won't let you in after the due date has passed, and I will not give you credit for discussion posts that are after the due date and time. So please make your plans accordingly. I do think, having a week to work on assignments is more than enough time. However, if you run into some kind of issue, please talk to me about it. I'd rather have that than, you have some kind of emergency happen and you just never say anything. Classroom etiquette, even though we are not meeting synchronously in real time and it is a digital classroom, that you still want to use care and respect when you're communicating. There are a few posts, where people might share things that make them feel vulnerable. It's up to you how much information you want to share, but I have had people share things. And so if you hear that, please be sensitive to your classmates. Please be respectful of them when you're conversing on the discussion boards. Grading scale is there. I don't use a point system. I use a percentage system, so you can see that in the grade book. And the grade book will also see, it calculates your grade in real time. So even after the first 3 assignments or 2 assignments come in, you'll have a grade in the grade book in the final, it's called the weighted column. Obviously, the closer we get to the end of the semester, the more accurate a reading of your final grade that is, but it does calculate the grade in real time, so you should always know what you have in the class. I'm still happy to talk to you about your grade, whether in person, over the phone, or Blackboard Messenger, but you should have access to that information, so you should always know what your grade is. The assignments that we'll be doing are here. There are 4 major ones. So when I say I accept assignments late, it's these 4 major ones. There is a deduction for each day they're late, up to 5 days, and then I stop accepting them. So it's 10 points for each day it's late. And some of these really take a lot of planning. So goal setting and note taking. Goal setting, you can do pretty independently of other people, but note taking asks you to take notes on a particular class. Now, if this is your only class, the SLS class we're taking, or even if you're dual enrolled, you can take it on a high school class, take notes, or you can take notes on our class. You can look at the reading, and because you're not attending a class, or you can listen to a lecture or a PowerPoint or a video and take notes on that as your, attendance to a class. But especially if you only have classes on, 2 days a week, you might find you really need to plan ahead to make sure that you have these notes in advance to turn them in. And yes, if you have to, you can take a picture of the notes. I think I put all that in the assignment if you write by hand, or if you take notes on a laptop or something, you can just submit the notes to me in a document. And test taking also, this requires you to meet with your professor to obtain feedback on your test. And professors are very busy, so you need to plan ahead for this. You need to ask for that appointment. You need to compose the test, then you need to meet with the professor, then you need to reflect back on what your professor said about the test you made. So that takes time. That's not something you can do independently on your own the night before. You need somebody's help for that. And that's where I've seen a lot of students just not be able to do this assignment or do it well because they don't have that huge component of getting feedback from their professor. And that's a significant deduction of points. Using feedback also requires that you have something where you get feedback from your instructor. One of them is getting feedback from yourself while you're reading from the book, and the other is getting feedback from your instructor. So as you're going through the semester, this is assignment 4, if you're getting essays back that are graded, you're getting tests back that are graded, save those. They can be really useful for this assignment, and just take note of what your professor is saying or what you got wrong and how you're changing your behavior to try to do better, because that'll become useful for you. That's kind of a building assignment for the last one. And finally, the career project. It's kind of our final, huge project there, and that's where you select a career you're interested in, and there are 2 pieces to the project. One is a presentation piece, so that takes a little bit of a can-do attitude online to create a presentation where you're recording yourself. And then the other has a written piece where you draft a cover letter and a resume as if you're going to apply for this job. And there's some more to it than that, but I won't get into all the details now. Discussions are averaged together and they're almost one a week. Quizzes, same thing. This is based on of the reading, the chapters in your book, and there's almost one of those a week. Our course calendar is here, so I tried to just say, you know, the week I view things as a work week, like Saturday and Sunday are yours, but Monday through Friday are when, you know, I'm online and we're working. So this is what I hope we'll learn this week, and this is what's due by 9 a.m. the next Monday. So these items 1, 2, 3, and 4 are due by Monday 8/29. And so, you know, and so on and so forth. So this week, these items 1 through 6 are due Monday 9/5. And I know that's Labor Day, but I figure you can turn it in on Sunday, you know, even though the college is closed for Labor Day kind of thing if you want, or you can have that extra, you know, few hours. So this layout of the course calendar is reflected in our course content section on Blackboard. So you'll see the same thing is here for week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, on and on. And I know some classes, the instructors only show you 1 week at a time and then weeks disappear. I like to keep it all out there because although I don't encourage working ahead, because I feel like you might get some feedback from me on something that says, oh, you know, your posts are not specific enough. You need to go into more detail. And then you've already completed the post for week 2. So then you need to go back and do it again. So the problem with working ahead too much is, you know, that you might have to redo it. And if you get feedback from me that says something's missing. And the other issue is sometimes you might forget, you know, what you did. And so my feedback comes at the end of that week, and then you're like, well, what is Miss Reitz telling me here? It's not very meaningful. The best feedback is in real time, but since we're not, you know, we're an asynchronous meeting, because we're in an online environment, then you're not going to get that real time feedback, but let's make it as close to the assignment itself or the work itself as possible. So anyway, if you go into these weeks, I'm not going to go into all of them and all the folders, but you'll see there are all the items. So I ask you the first week to complete the getting started. So if you go in there, there's these Blackboard things where it's, you know, use the discussion board, find your grades, all this stuff, teaching you how to navigate Blackboard. And then the discussion for the week that's due is right there, and so on and so forth. So hopefully that layout is easy to navigate. I do have some redundancy built in. So like the getting started is listed here. It's listed here in the menu. And I think it's also at the bottom of your home page. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe just those 2 places. But the major assignments for easy access are listed here, but they're also in the weeks themselves. So if I say, you know, read over the goal setting assignment, which I do say, like here, read over assignment 1 goal setting. You can get to it in week 2, or you can get to it, you know, by clicking on major assignments and then clicking on goal setting there. So when it says just read, do not complete, that's because I want you to know what you're working towards. So you'll have, you know, this week and this week and this week to work on your goal setting assignment, or to at least know what you're working toward with these other little assignments, these discussions and the readings and the videos, and all of that plays into this major assignment of goal setting. And so you'll see complete assignment 1 goal setting. So that's not due until September 19th. Quizzes, the same thing. They are embedded in the week, but they are also accessible here. So that's just for ease of use in case you're looking at things. Syllabus is multiple places. Announcements are there. Your grades are there. So that's where you can find your grade book. If you want to message me, that's there. Your email's there. If you want to access a tutor, they have English, math. I think they may even have science tutors available online. So again, click that. Go ahead and say hi to the tutors. You know, play around with the shell. So that's all I wanted to share for now. get them know. Is yes, the syllabus disclaimer just says, I've tried my best to lay out our course in a way that makes sense and is easy and maintainable. But I will definitely communicate with you if anything changes, which I don't anticipate, but who knows what life will throw at us in the next few months. Again, if you're my spring class, you know, this calendar will probably have changed because you'll not see these fall dates on it. All right, I hope everyone has a great semester, and please, please, please reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. All right, have a great day.